The lobby of Harrington Industries gleamed like polished silver. Executives in crisp suits rushed past, too busy to notice the man mopping the marble floor. That man was Daniel Carter, a single dad, working double shifts as a janitor just to provide for his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Most people didn't look twice at him. To them, he was invisible. But tonight, everything would change. Upstairs, Michael Harrington, the young CEO, stood before a room full of investors. In his hand was a crystal glass filled with a new energy drink, the company's latest invention. This, Michael announced, raising the glass, is our future. A formula designed to change the market forever. The room buzzed with excitement. Michael smiled confidently and brought the glass closer to his lips. But from the back of the room came a sudden voice, trembling, but firm. Stop. The executives turned in confusion. There stood Daniel, the janitor, holding his mop like a shield. His uniform was stained, his hands calloused. Everyone frowned. What was a janitor doing in a boardroom? Daniel's eyes locked on the glass in Michael's hand. His voice cracked, but he didn't back down. That's my father's formula, on the glass you're holding. The room went silent. Michael lowered the glass slowly. What did you just say? Daniel stepped forward. My father, Drive. Thomas Carter, he created that formula. I'd recognize it anywhere. The ratios, the ingredients, that was his life's work. Gasps filled the room. The investors whispered. Dr. Carter's name was known in the scientific world, but he had disappeared years ago. Michael froze, his confident mask cracking. He whispered, almost to himself. Dr. Carter, was your father? Daniel nodded. Yes, but my father never sold his research. He wanted it used to help people, not just for profit. He died before he could finish, and we lost everything. His voice broke, and the room felt the weight of his words. Michael set the glass down, his hand trembling. The truth was, Harrington Industries had acquired the formula under questionable circumstances. He had never questioned its origins, until now. Mr. Harrington, Daniel continued, his voice steady now, I don't care about money. I just want my father's legacy to mean something. He gave his life for that work. Please, don't use it to line pockets. Use it to change lives. That's all he wanted. The investors looked uneasy. This was no longer just a product pitch, it was a moral reckoning. Michael stared at Daniel, a janitor, a man society overlooked, yet standing taller than anyone in that room. Michael finally spoke, his voice softer than ever. You could have stayed silent. You could have walked away. Why risk everything by speaking up? Daniel looked him straight in the eyes. Because I promised my daughter I'd always stand for the truth. And because, my father deserves to be remembered the right way. The room was silent again. But this time, it wasn't out of shock, it was out of respect. Michael took a deep breath. Then he turned to the investors. Ladies and gentlemen, today, we won't move forward until we do the right thing. He looked back at Daniel. From this moment, your father, Drive. Thomas Carter, will be credited as the original creator of this formula. And Daniel, if you'll accept, I'd like you to join us, not as a janitor, but as a partner in carrying his legacy forward. Daniel's knees nearly buckled. For years, he had carried the shame of being overlooked, dismissed, forgotten. Now, his father's name would shine again. Tears filled his eyes. Thank you, he whispered. You don't know what this means to me, to my daughter. Michael extended his hand. And for the first time, the janitor and the CEO stood as equals. That night, Daniel walked home. With Lily, holding her hand tighter than ever. Daddy, she asked, why are you smiling so big? He knelt down and hugged her. Because today, sweetheart, Grandpa's dream came true. And one day, yours will too. Sometimes, the greatest heroes are the ones nobody sees. Sometimes, the loudest truth comes from the quietest voice in the room. And sometimes, doing the right thing is worth more than all the profit in the world. The lobby of Harrington Industries gleamed like polished silver. Executives in crisp suits rushed past, too busy to notice the man mopping the marble floor. That man was Daniel Carter, a single dad, working double shifts as a janitor just to provide for his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Most people didn't look twice at him. To them, he was invisible. But tonight, everything would change. Upstairs, Michael Harrington, the young CEO, stood before a room full of investors. In his hand was a crystal glass filled with a new energy drink, the company's latest invention. This, Michael announced, raising the glass, as